Hi, it's Caitlin and I'm here with a new collection from by Dany Vianna, and it's like what I've been needing and wanting for a very long time. I am just so over the moon, no pun intended, to have these polishes in my collection and to be sharing them with you. This is the Get Out of My Space collection, and everything is inspired by outer space, and it also includes a ton of glitter toppers, which if you know me, if you've been around the channel, you know that I love glitter toppers, and I specifically love star shapes and moon shapes, and this collection is giving all of that and more. So these should be available now on the By Dany Vianna website, which ships to the US. They're based, I think their shipping ships out from the US. There's discounted shipping when you spend $75 or more, and it might actually be free shipping if you're in the US. I'll have that down in the description, and I'll also include a list of stockists that tend to carry By Dany Vianna polishes. They might not have these polishes right now, but they probably will soon, so check in with them. And yeah, these are just a note. They are meant to either be toppers or worn on their own, some more than others. So I've tried to show these in as diverse a way as possible. So let's look at them. We're going to start by looking at Star-Crossed Lovers. This one is a violet jelly base with red to pink aurora shimmer, gold moon glitters, holographic gold mini stars, and silver holographic 4-point star glitters. Right off the bat, I am obsessed with this polish, and I absolutely love that there are gold and silver glitters with the purple base. I think that is a gorgeous color combination, and I actually had a really easy time applying this polish. There are an abundance of glitters in here. It's so easy to work with. I didn't really have to do any fishing. It's just a matter of getting the glitter spread out on the nail in a way that looks good. So you might have to play around a tiny bit to move, you know, if like 4 stars are clumped together, you might want to move them apart. But I was happy with this in 2 coats, and I am using a glitter grabbing top coat first. That's what you're seeing me apply here. I'm using Cuticula Quenched. So what that's going to do is lay down a really good solid base for applying your quick dry top coat. So I let Quenched dry for about 5 minutes, and now I'm going in with a glossy quick dry top coat, the usual one I use, which is Cuticula Limitless, and that's going to give this a gel-like finish. So despite all the glitter in here, it's not overly textured. It will be difficult to remove, but it's so worth it in my opinion. And you can see there's also that beautiful reflective glitter. This is just such a pretty polish, and I don't know, it just really speaks to me. Next up is Meteoric, and this is a black purple jelly base with a mix of silver holographic glitter and silver magnetic pull. I am going to try to show this one with a variety of different magnetization styles, but it essentially looks good with all of them. But I think it looks best with the sort of bar magnet cat eye look, because it just makes it look more galaxy-esque. This also has a fantastic formula, really good coverage, applies easily. The By Dany Vianna brush is a nice sort of squat, dense, tiny little paddle brush, so it works well for application, especially on smaller nails. And I am applying the bar magnet so you can see the kind of effect that gives. If you're magnetizing it, you'll most likely need 3 coats. So that's what I'm showing here. It just gets the base more opaque for when the magnetic pigment pulls out. You can see an opaque black base beneath, which also shows off all those little glitter components, which I think are so pretty. This one is not going to be really textured, so it's really easy to work with. It won't be difficult to remove, and one layer of top coat will smooth everything out, and I always recommend applying the magnet after you apply top coat as well. So on my ring finger, this is what it looks like if you do sort of the horseshoe magnet velvet effect. It kind of gives it this like funky 3D silver overlay. And you can see here all the various magnetic styles, including unmagnetized on my index. And I just love this polish. Moving along, we have Dark Side of the Moon, and this one's a clear to black thermal with a mix of gray and silver holographic moons and dots and holographic flakes. This polish has an abundance of glitters in it, so again, it's really easy to apply. You get a ton of glitter out without really trying, but you're always best to give it a good shake and leave the bottle upside down before application if you want to make sure you get a ton of glitter on your brush. But I do think that this is the kind of polish that looks good when the glitter is random. But on one of my fingers, I kind of did something a little cool and like intentional, which I really liked, so you'll see that in a bit. But I love these holographic moons. I love anything holographic, let's be honest. But I also just love black with holographic. It's just so fun. And I love the holographic elements in addition to the glitters. The actual holo flakes in there are quite rainbowy. And yeah, this is just a fantastic polish. I really do love this collection. I'm also going to show it layered over black, so if you don't really care for the thermal aspect, you could definitely apply it over a black cream. I'm using my favorite black cream, which is the Cracked Polish Black. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Fool Me One Coat or something? No, Joke's on You, something like that. Anyway, yeah, so I was really intentional with the placement on my ring finger. I thought that looked cool. It looks cool when it's random, as you can see here. And I love how squishy the black jelly base is. I do think it builds up best in 3 because then you get opacity with the dark black state for the thermal. But when it warms up, it doesn't really matter because it's clear and you can't really see the base. So anyway, you'll see what I mean. This is another one that I would recommend using a glitter grabber and another layer of top coat. But I didn't want to bore everybody by showing that, so you'll just see me apply one layer of top coat. As I said, this one is black when cold, and then when you warm up, you get this really fun, clear look, which I absolutely love. I love it. Next up we have Moonshine, and that's a clear base with a blue silvery aurora shimmer. It's got large particle blue to purple aurora shimmer and blue holographic reflective glitter. So this is definitely one of those that can be a topper or worn on its own. So I'm showing it on its own on my index and as a topper over black on my middle finger. It obviously has smooth, even coverage in just one coat, so it would definitely work as a topper over a dark polish. And it also looks amazing on its own. I am, of course, partial to the polish on its own. This does have a bit of texture from the reflective glitter, but it will smooth out with one layer of top coat, and honestly that makes it more beautiful and glossy and ethereal and sparkly looking when you apply the top coat. If you're layering it, you probably only need 2 coats or 1, depending on your preference. For the sake of, knowledge, I thought I would show Moonshine over a white cream. Again, that's the cracked polish white cream. I will try to remember to link it in the cards, but they're the best white and black creams. This I don't think looks so good over a white cream. I definitely think it's worth applying it over a dark one or just wearing on its own. But of course, that's my opinion. So here you can see it in its many faces, layered or not layered, and it is on its own both on my index and pinky. Here we have Walk into the Moon, which is a light silver crelly with black and indigo blue flakes. This one has a beautifully even crelly base. It is so smooth. It's really impressive. But by Dany Vianna has like gorgeous crellies usually, so I'm not surprised by that. This one is best when you build it up in 3 coats probably, but if you like a more delicate look, you could definitely leave it in 2. It's even enough and pretty enough. You get a lot of flakes still even in 2 coats. And I do super love those sort of iridescent indigo glow flakes. I think they're really pretty and they show up really nicely through the crelly. It's just a really well formulated crelly so that you can actually see the elements through the layers instead of them being covered up by a really dense or heavy cream base. This will definitely benefit from a glossy top coat. The flakes just have a tiny bit of texture, but it is smoothed out with 1 layer of top coat, and this will not be difficult to remove. This one's called Stars Are Beautiful, which I don't think that's a reference to the Paris Hilton song, but maybe it is. I don't know. That's a sweet song. I like that song. And love the version with Kim Petras. So this is definitely best as a topper, but I will show it on its own just because why not? So I'm showing it over black, and that really lets the hollow flake show off This is described as a clear base with holographic flakes and a mix of white satin and gray matte mini star glitters. And then on my middle finger, I'm actually showing it over another by Dany Vianna Polish Blue Morpho Butterfly, which was from their Gossamer Wings collection, I believe from May. I will also try to remember to link that in the cards because I love that collection and I love this layering combo as someone who likes ethereal, delicate polishes. And my little pinky is gonna get this just on its own, which honestly, there's so many glitters in this. Look how many glitters came out, and that was with really no effort. There's just a ton of glitter packed into these polishes. It makes it really easy to work with. So you'll notice me just kind of playing around with the brush to get the glitters placed in a way that I like. It's really easy to do that. The formula is really fluid and easy to work with. The dry time is good, not too fast, not too slow. It's just really easy to work with. And again, not gonna bore you, but you should definitely use a glitter top coat and then a quick dry over top. That will give you the most glossy, gel-like, and smoothest finish. But this will be difficult to remove, and I did show it over a white cream on my ring finger, but that was kind of pointless because you can't see the glitter. Here we have Magnetic Attraction, which is a clear base with pink to gold iridescent flakes and a blue to purple magnetic effect. Again, this one's definitely a topper, or it can be worn on its own. And of course, I know I'm a weirdo, blah, blah, blah. I love like wearing sheer polishes that are not that visible, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. This is my preference, and I think it looks really good on its own like this. But of course, you can definitely layer it, and that's a really beautiful effect as well, especially over something like a black, which really lets the blue shimmer pop. So if you are wearing this on its own, it's probably best to build it up in 2 coats. That way you get a little more shimmer, which obscures your nail underneath. And it also, yeah, it just looks really good. I'm gonna show it here with nothing magnetized, that's just on its own. And on my pinky, it's also used without the magnetic effect over a white cream. So there's many uses for this polish, whether you magnetize it or don't, layer it or don't. There's just a ton of options. And last but not least, this might be my favorite. We have Jar of Stars, which is a clear base with a mix of blue holographic glitters and a mix of micro silver holographic glitters and mini stars and 4-point stars. So again, showing this over a black cream, which really lets everything pop. And a ton of glitters come out on that first brush. There's so much glitter packed into this polish, and I am showing it over by Dany Vianna Blue Morpho Butterfly on my middle finger, which is just a really fun and sparkly way to show it off. I love how holographic and sparkly this topper is. Like honestly, this is what I've been wanting and needing from indie nail polish brands for many years. So obsessed with this and I love it so much. But it will be difficult to remove and you'll definitely want 2 layers of top coat. So it's worth the work for me, maybe not for you, but hey, we're all different. I am having a very hard time picking favorites because I do just freaking love this collection. But Star-Crossed Lovers was one of the first ones I tried, and it just is giving, I can't remember if I saw it on TikTok, but it's called like whimsy goth. I don't know, maybe that wasn't right. But like, I don't know, like kind of like 90s, I don't know, goth vibes. It's like the gold moons and stars. I love it. And I love the purple base. So that one I cannot wait to wear again. And Jar of Stars is like everything I've ever wanted from a topper. I can't wait to basically put it over everything. So I just love the shapes. I love that it has those like 4-point stars, 5-point stars. It's so beautiful. And Magnetic Attraction, I really liked it. And I like it magnetized on its own in like 2 coats. I just think it's really beautiful, easy to wear, and very whimsical and magical. So those are my top picks, but I honestly love everything. Let me know in the comments what you think about this collection. I know that, you know, glitter shapes are not for everybody, but they're definitely for me. So let me know if they're for you. And that's it for this video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.